gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Rather ominous, isn't it?
It is.
I was telling somebody earlier that it makes you want to start the show going, well, welcome, Diane. So,
That's hysterical.
do you recognize the set behind me?
I do. That's the slow food set.
Yep, there you go. Yep, that was such a pretty set, man.
Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, Mike, our set designer does such amazing work. Of course, I've been saying that all day because every set pops up. It's like, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, I remember
But
that one.
yeah, but again, thanks so much for joining us here. Diane has been in two of her shows, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. We did Weekend Comedy
Right?
and we did Slow Food. And let me add this here. Got little things here that have. Come on, pop in. There we go.
Ah,
Got some pictures of from our past shows and everything. And there's Rob.
yeah.
I miss him, and I'm so sorry for your loss there.
Thank you so much.
But he was. I got a fun Rob story if you'll indulge me.
Yes, please. Please
So
share.
it was when we did Weekend Comedy, and you guys, this was your first time working here with us, you guys,
Right.
and we were in. I think it was opening night actually, and Rob had a quick change backstage.
Oh, I know this story.
And I guess he didn't or forgot about the fact that how close the audience is. And he got frustrated over something. He said, God damn it.
Which was Rob.
Yep. And I had to remind him, they're only 10 feet away, so
Right.
with a curtain between you guys, so maybe watch. That was so funny. I mean, at the time it was not funny at all to
No,
me,
and
but
he was embarrassed. But
yeah, and I know he was after I talked to him. I mean, he profusely apologized. But, oh my God, hearing those F-bombs coming from behind the curtain,
oh no.
it was so funny.
Oh
But
my gosh. But we had so much fun doing
yeah,
weekend comedy.
that was such a fun show. Yeah, and the two young kids were great.
They
Um,
were.
and they did a really good job. And I've actually been trying to get both of them to come back and do shows, but they're both so busy now that they don't have time. They don't have time for for us. That's okay, whatever.
Oh,
But that's usually tends. And then and now how many professional shows have you done, Diane, in your
oh.
career?
Well, that's hard to say. I've been working for 38 years
Yeah, wow.
in professional theater,
Hmm.
so I haven't ever done the actual count
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
how
that's
many performances that would be, but it's a long time.
yeah.
I'm only 29, so I don't
There
know
you
how
go.
that
Yeah.
happened.
So you've had quite the storied career
Yes,
in that short
yes.
life of yours.
Right, right. And when I took my full-time job, I remember you saying, "Great, you're taking a full-time job. What about me?"
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah,
I'm quite the narcissist when it comes to theater of okay, yeah, that may be great for you, but how does that help me any at all?
right. Right, right. But, anytime, I'd love to come back.
Oh God, I'd love to have you back. And it was so funny because and this happens quite often, where you come across an actor or a couple actors that you love working with, and it's like, oh, awesome. Now I got them. I got them in my little pouch of
Right?
actors that I can go to, and then inevitably I hear, well, I'm doing this now, and it's like, God damn it. Stop
Right.
it. Why you want to screw with my life that way? You should be concerned about. You should have called me before you accepted that job, Diane. Is what it comes down to.
Right. That's exactly it. Well, but
And
Rob and I loved working at Ensemble Stage. We always said that that was our favorite place to go
oh well,
and
that's
work.
nice because I
Hmm.
really appreciate that because you guys have been a lot of places.
We toured and worked individually, and then
Yeah,
when we got together in 2017
hmm,
and started working together,
yeah,
we've worked all over the country, pretty much in every state, as a matter of fact.
oh wow, really? That's
Hmm.
great.
Yeah, yeah, it's very fun. But I think my favorite story from Ensemble Stage was the rehearsal in Weekend Comedy where we had to do the bacon and eggs,
Yep.
and 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 I won't say what happened to you when you plugged in the oven in the rehearsal room.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised I'm still alive,
Yeah, yeah,
but
that
I'm
was a
getting a little bit
crazy.
of echo. That we're getting a little bit of echo there, Diane. I'm hearing my voice coming back at me a
Oh,
couple of seconds later. I don't know what's going on there, but
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure. It just started, and now it's not happening, so we're good now.
Oh,
So
okay, good.
okay, good.
Great.
Um, but yeah, no, that was well. I mean, I'll tell the story now that you brought it up. Um, I, I and people who've ever worked with me and are my patrons know that there is there's no pretending on my sets. You don't pretend to pour a glass of juice or a cup of coffee or for that matter make breakfast.
Right.
And so I had to the the fitting that um, the plug for the oven goes into that was in the wall already there, which was very convenient because it used to be a kiln for the old school. That was their art room,
Mhm.
and that so it was a kiln, and so they had that same plug that I needed, but the plug was in really bad shape, so I wanted to replace the plug. So I I had the guy who kind of at the time was helping with the uh, that building, and he went in there and he swore that he shut off the right breaker and everything like that. And so I went to go the take the screws off that plug, and I guess I crossed something, but it allowed, I mean, it sounded like a pistol shot,
Well,
and bright sparks flew, and it shot me back about 10 feet. And, and
and
now there's permanently that black char mark on that wall back.
oh no.
But,
And and that's when we walked in the room. What happened?
yeah, that's right. That's right. Forgot about that. Yeah. And, so, but anyway, we finally got it all figured out and plugged in and everything. And then we spent that whole day
Yeah.
of just working the timing on that and working out the went through so much bacon and so many
Oh my God.
eggs
We we
and
must have
all that.
eaten a whole pound of bacon that day.
Oh, at least I would say it was probably closer to 2.5 pounds of bacon that we
Yeah.
went
Oh my
through.
gosh.
Yeah, and a couple of dozen eggs too.
At
Now the
least.
the eggs, about a dozen in, people started going, nah, you just toss those. But
Right.
we never had to toss any bacon. The bacon was always was always readily eaten up. But between me and Rob, we were scarfing on that bacon, boy.
You got it all.
Yeah, yeah, we did.
It was great. I think I got one piece that day. You guys
Oh my
ate all
gosh,
the
did you
bacon.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I feel
Yeah, well,
bad.
I was busy cooking.
Well, that's true. Yeah. And what people, the audience, when I try to explain that sometimes to people, they say, well, why'd you have to do it that much? The problem was the script
Yes,
referenced particular points in the cooking process that were happening. So
right.
to get that to time out, oh my God.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it
It was
was.
crazy. And cooking of the coffee,
Yep.
and everything.
Yep.
It was perfect. But we did it every night. We
Yeah.
got it to work every single night, which
Yeah.
was great.
And I remember the one thing that Lisa always hated was, or she regretted, was that why the hell didn't we sell bacon at intermission?
Oh,
Why?
yes. Yes.
Because that was like right before intermission you cooked, and
Right.
so we had that smell of bacon all throughout the auditorium and everything. She said there's at least 20 people a night would come out in intermission and come to the concession area and go, "Do you guys have bacon? Didn't you make any bacon for this?" Like, oh my God, we could have
Yes.
cleaned up on the
Bacon, egg,
bacon.
and cheese sandwiches would have been
Yeah, no
perfect at
kidding.
that point.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that was
And then
that was. Go ahead.
that
What?
was so much fun.
That was so much fun. And that now, uh, am I right in this? Because as I often do when I'm bringing new people in to be in a show, I troll them a bit, and look, didn't you direct weekend comedy?
Yes, I did. At a theater in Pennsylvania.
And see, and that I have that's some I've got to thank you so much, because I saw that and I almost didn't cast you because, like, oh, great. Now I
That's
got
what you
somebody
said to
who's
me.
direct yeah. Now I got somebody who's directed this show, and now I'm going to be directing them. And the last thing I need to hear is, "Well, when I did it, blah blah blah." But you were wonderful.
Oh,
It was so wonderful to work with you. If I hadn't have trolled you, I would have never known.
oh,
And
good.
I'm sure you made many more brilliant choices than I did, but not once did you go, you know what? Well, how about we do this? But so I truly do appreciate that because that's pretty rare to find somebody that can because I don't know if I could do it. I don't know
Oh,
if I could bite my tongue.
well, see, I think that's the joy of doing live theater is
Yeah,
that there every time you do it, and the
it's
joy of
different.
regional theater, every
Yeah,
time you do it in a different place, the director brings a new perspective to the
exactly.
show.
Yeah.
And so I was excited to work with you and
Oh,
see
that's
what,
wonderful. Thank you. Good.
yeah, and see what you brought. And you brought so much joy and so many new ideas to the show, which was completely different than
Yeah.
what I brought to it.
Mm. Yeah, see, and that's what I try to tell people when especially actors that my favorite line from an actor, and you know this. Well, in the stage direction, it
Oh,
says,
oh God. Yes.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's people and actors, especially the young actors, need to understand that we're not remounting a production.
Right.
We're using the script, and that's I always tell people Charles Nelson Riley, who was a good friend
Oh,
and
yeah.
a mentor to me, and Lisa was helped him develop his one man show. One of the first things he ever told me about directing was, so soon as you get the script, take a Sharpie and black out all that stage direction. Don't even
Right.
think about it. And he's right. That's absolutely what you should do. And but yeah, and I'm sure it drives you nuts too as a director that uh,
Yes, definitely.
you know, well, the script says I should go into the kitchen and get a drink of water. Okay, great.
That's what that actor
Yeah,
did, but it
that's
might not
right.
be what this
Yeah.
character calls for.
Yeah. And then I remember one time they said, I was like, so are you thirsty right now? Well, no. And I said, well, then why the hell do you need a drink of water? I mean,
Right.
that you just and it was a thing where they had just walked in, and he had one of those like hydration bottles and everything, and he finished that off and he set it down, and that was something I had him do that wasn't in the script. But then the script says for him to go get a glass of water. Like it's like I just had you bring in this bottle of hydration water, and you finished it off, and you don't need that. Oh yeah, yeah, I guess you're right. But so many
Okay.
times you deal with that. But how many shows have you directed? Do you know your count? I mean, I don't know
Uh,
my count. I
I,
just
I don't know my count either. It's probably, uh, uh, no, I'm, I'm probably close to 100 shows that I've directed, I think.
yeah. Wow. And
So
now and now you're at Florida Rep, correct?
now I'm the general manager at Florida
Yeah.
Rep, and that's a completely different side of the table when it
Oh
comes
God,
to
I know.
theater.
Yeah. God
Now,
bless you. I couldn't do it. No way.
now I work on helping to keep the doors open and the roof on and the lights turned on
Yeah.
but that's a really neat place to be at this stage of my career
Mm,
to
hmm.
make a space for artists to come and do their job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And every now and then I still get to perform. Like I was just asked to. Well, I've been in Play Lab. We do a New Works Festival there.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I was in that this year, and then I'm going to understudy for two of the roles in the next show coming up that starts in 2 weeks. So
What's the next show?
it's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. It's an Agatha Christie
Oh,
murder
really? Okay.
mystery by Mark Shanahan.
Good God, how many people are in that?
Oh, a bunch. It's a big cast.
God
So
bless you.
that's one of our bigger shows this year.
I'm running. That's the problem with us. We're kind of running out. We kind of limit ourselves. I think we've done maybe two shows with five people over the course of 15 years, but it's always been four or less. But man, I'm running out of good quality, especially comedy scripts
Right.
that have that few of people. Um, there's plenty of good comedies out there that have six or seven or eight, but wow,
Well,
it's
we
getting harder and harder.
we have a black box theater too, as well as the main stage,
Yep.
and that's where we do our smaller shows, five
Oh, that's
people
now.
or
Where's
more.
the black box? Is that the old rehearsal room? Is that where it is?
Yes,
Or
yes.
okay.
You all used to work there.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done a couple of shows there. I did The Foreigner. Uh, one
Oh,
of my one of my eight productions of The Foreigner
yeah,
I've done. Uh, and wow,
such a
surprise,
great show.
surprise! I was Owen Musser every
Oh,
time.
right, right. I want to
And
be
I
Betty now. I've
oh,
graduated into Betty.
you're not old enough for Betty
Oh,
yet.
good. Oh,
No,
thanks.
you're
So I
not.
can
No.
keep it on my bucket list.
Yeah, keep it on your bucket list for a while. But
Okay.
I know I remember, and it was, I think at that time, I guess that was the last one. So that was the eighth production of The Foreigner that I've done, and that I've done as Owen Musser. And they
Wow.
cast me in it, and I went there, and I was sitting there going, should I act like I just don't know anything, and should I just or do I act like that good pupil that studied his lines and got it all and got off book before first rehearsal? And I thought, I'll do somewhere in the middle. I'll remember parts, but then I'll forget. I'll act like I can't remember, or that I'm not sure what's next and everything. And then I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was that muscle memory, but as soon as we got into that reading, I just went on.
Good.
And by the time that was over, I wasn't even paying attention to everything. I was sitting there and I was doing it, and I was playing around a little bit with the character to try and make it at least a little bit different than I had done it before, and
Right.
everything, and playing off the people that they were doing in the table read. And we got done with the table read, and I think half of them were like, "You son of a bitch." You could see it in their eyes. Why oh, aren't you teacher's pet?
That's
Like, "Nah."
hysterical.
Yeah,
Did
but
Bob direct that?
yeah, yeah, he did. Yep. And
Sure.
But yeah, and I want to say, I think your artistic director. I want to say he was in it.
Oh, Greg was in it?
I I think so.
Was Jason in it too?
No, no,
Okay.
no. I may be wrong. Greg may not have been in that. I've done a couple of shows with Greg, um, but I know I'm almost sure that he played somebody there, one of the characters. I remember that. Did you know John Felix?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. John Felix played Froggy,
Okay.
and then one of the interns played. Well, two of the interns played uh, the the ingenue and and what is it? David, the one who?
Yes.
Um,
The minister.
no, no, he played. Um, yeah, the minister. Yeah, he played the minister, and but and I want to say Greg was in that with me, but I know he was in All My Sons with me
Oh,
as
fun.
well, and um, that was the one show I feel so bad at. And some people tell me every actor had one of those shows, so you shouldn't feel bad. I still feel bad about it, but I was I missed an entrance.
Oh,
And,
whoops.
yeah, and what's bad about it? There was no reason because I was standing at the door to come in for my entrance. And then and I'd been having this like thing up in my gums and above my
Oh,
tooth, and I'm sitting there and I'm messing with that, and then I'm messing, and then all of a sudden I hear somebody saying something that happens after I've entered, and it's like, what the so good for them for going on, but
right,
and bad on me for not staying focused. But you know,
right.
because it was
I,
like it was towards the end of the run, and I wasn't focused like I should have been. But I was. It wasn't where I was in the green room going, oh shit, and having to run. I was at the door that I was going to open to
oh,
come in.
so you were right
I
there.
was right
You
there.
were sleeping on the job.
Oh my god, it was
Oh,
horrible.
I hate when
I,
that happens. I
yeah.
was Aunt Eller in Oklahoma, and during the auction, she goes off and then comes back on and then goes off again, and the scene changes. Well, I left the stage and forgot which time I exited. So I went right to the dressing room and started to change my costume. And I heard, Aunt Eller, aren't you going to run the auction? Went
Holy,
flying
well,
back on stage.
God,
Well, and
and
you heard me clomping in my heels all the way.
well, at least the clomping fit
Yeah,
the character in the play. So,
yes,
but oh my
yes.
God, and what I
So,
mean oh my God, that feeling you have when it's like
oh, it's deadly,
oh,
deadly when that
horrible.
happens.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
But
But yeah, Florida, my job at Florida Rep is terrific to be on this side of the table now.
yeah.
And I know actually what you're going through a little bit because we went through it 2 years ago
Oh yeah. Yeah. With
with
the hurricane there.
Hurricane Ian.
Yep.
And, while my house, I was very lucky with my house,
Hmm.
um, the theater, at our theater at that time, had extensive damage, over $2 million worth of
Oh
damage.
yeah, I remember seeing your Facebook posts and things like that. Oh my God.
Right, right. And so it's been my job to be on the team that has been renovating the building ever
Mm,
since.
okay.
So our building is over 100 years old, as you know. So
Right.
I've been working. When I say I work to keep the doors open and the roof on and the lights on,
That's
it,
literal.
that's literal.
Yeah.
That's really what I do there now. And it's great. Today on this episode of This Old House,
It's- yeah. Oh my gosh.
we work to put it back together, and we're still under renovation. So I when everything happened in North Carolina,
Yeah.
my heart just leapt for you, um, and all the people and the devastation. And And the thing about the arts, and really why I said yes to coming on with you today, is to make that plea for people, because um, I know what happens to the community when it's been devastated. And also, when the arts come back, how important Ensemble Stage is to your community and
Yeah,
to the high country. And you really are an economic driver, just like we are
yeah,
in Fort Myers.
yeah.
And
On a smaller scale, but yes, absolutely.
yeah, well, the businesses depend on your audiences
Yeah,
coming in,
yeah.
and the people do too.
Yeah, and
Just
that's
such
one of the things, and that's kind of why we're doing this thing. Is I've explained before that when Hurricane Helene came in, of course we had to immediately cancel our radio show,
right,
and then and we were like, oh, because it didn't look good for our Christmas show either at the time, because our total water infrastructure had been decimated. We had no sewer lines, we had no water lines. So,
wow,
and without sewer and water, you can't have people come in to see a show
right,
in a building. And so we were like really sitting there going, I don't know if we can do this. And then so we paused. We suspended our sales for our holiday show, and then we had about $25,000 in um, um, sponsorships for the Christmas show, and we lost all of that,
wow,
um, and rightfully so, because they put it towards humanitarian efforts, and I completely get that, and at the time we were thinking, well, okay, we're not, uh, you know we're probably not going to do the show anyway, so it's not like anything. But then this amazing small town, um, you talk about pulling up your bootstraps and doing what has to be done,
right.
and people coming together, and um, um, what they expected this water infrastructure to take months to fix. It's been now about 4 weeks, and we already have water
That's
back.
fantastic.
Yeah,
How resilient.
oh, I know, and the town manager has been kind of spearheading this whole thing, Rick Owen, and he's just been amazing. And
Wow,
his wife, Nancy Owen, she's every day she's been there at the relief center and making it, kind of coordinating that whole thing with the relief center. And
that's
as
incredible.
things were moving forward, people, almost like a week after we had the hurricane, people were coming up to me and Lisa, or seeing me and Lisa, going, the first first thing they'd say, they go, "You guys doing okay? Yeah, we're doing okay. You're still planning on doing a Christmas show, right?"
Oh,
and
see,
but at the time it
see,
was like, yeah, I don't know if we can do that, and because we don't know if we're going to get water and all that, and then when it got to be fairly evident that we would have water and we'd be able to do the show, then it was like, you know what? We've got to do this Christmas show. This town deserves that,
yep,
deserves this Christmas show. They need this Christmas show.
mm-hmm,
They need even if it's for an hour and a half, just to
right,
enjoy and have fun, and celebrate the season, and forget about all the other crap that's going on. But
yes,
then that raised that whole issue of, okay, now we're $25,000 short of what we need for our budget to do this show, and with it being this time of year, um, always at the end of our summer season, our coffers have been depleted, from the summer season and everything, so they're kind of thin. But we've always relied on our radio show revenue, and our Christmas show sponsorships and revenue from the Christmas show, and then the end of year um, um, uh, people that donate at the end of the year, and that gets us through that to our big fundraiser we do in March, and so all that gets through it. But all that was gone, and so if we can't try to recover that 25 grand that we lost, so we don't go into the hole. We've never been in the red at Ensemble Stage ever, and
wow,
uh, and we certainly don't want to have that happen now. Um, but so that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing now. You know, we're doing it a month earlier than the normal Giving Tuesday, and
Hmm.
we're doing it as a. And I came up with the silly idea. Oh, I know I could do a stream-a-thon and
Yes.
do 24 hours, and I'm only in my going on my ninth hour, and man, I don't know if I this old man ain't used to that kind of stuff.
That's
Um,
a lot of talking, but you're
but
doing great.
they're but that's why we're doing this. And just as a reminder to everybody, if you're interested in donating
Mhm.
to us, there's that webpage you can go to, ensemblestage.ludus.com/donate, and go there, and you can give us. And if it's $1 or $5 or $10 or $100 or $500, whatever you feel comfortable doing, we certainly would appreciate it. And I'll make sure your name gets put on that scroll across the bottom of the screen there, that goes on, just like a real telephone does. But
Yay.
I never, I, I always, I liked Jerry Lewis, and but now I've got a hell of a lot more respect
Yes.
for doing that Labor Day telethon for like 3 days. It's like, oh my god.
Right. Right. You'll just have to do a Mrs. Maisel monologue at the end. At the
Yeah,
at the 12th hour.
that's probably what, yeah, because that my mind will be mush by then. But
Yes. Yes.
yeah, it's been it's but anyway, that's why we're doing it, and I appreciate you coming on and helping us, and entertaining people with your stories. And
Oh, I'm
it was,
happy to. What a great experience. And the next time I come back, the second show that I did there was Slow Food, and that was
yep,
all about eating on stage too.
yep, that's
So
right.
maybe next time I won't eat.
Maybe next time we'll have a show where you're not eating. Yeah,
Right.
that would be good. Okay, well, thank you so much, Diane. I'm going to let you go. We got other things
Okay.
we got to get to, but I certainly appreciate you stopping by and having a chat with me. So wonderful to see
Oh,
you.
so
And
wonderful to see you too. And I'm so glad to help. And I'll make my donation as well. And I can't wait to see you all back in action.
all right, thanks so much, Diane.
Okay.
All
Bye
right, bye
bye.
bye.